Cypher. So I'm Sanjeev Singh. I'm taking care of data architect and engineering in BharatPe. And today we are going to discuss about real-time data pipeline in the new age fintech firms, its use cases, its challenges, and definitely the architecture, how we are going to solve the problem. So a bit about BharatPe, then we jump on the exact use cases, the challenges, and the architecture. So BharatPe is an ecosystem of financial services where we have the payment, getting the QR, swipe, and speaker, where we merchants and consumer go and pay for the merchants. In the merchant ecosystem, we are facilitating 10 million plus merchants, where we have easy loan, credit on card, P2P, merchant loyalty as well. Apart from the merchant, we are fully focused. We have a consumer-focused product as well. In the BNPL market, we have a post-pay. Loyalty market, around a couple of months back, we acquired Payback as well. And 12%, where you guys can invest and get the 12% money as well. So how we are differentiate with the other competitor in the market? So we are the first interpolar UPI QR where anyone, having any PSP like payment service provider can pay on the QR of BharatPe and get the payment done with any merchants. And it is free of cost starting. So we are majorly focused on merchants. Our loan is also not EMI, it's a EDI based where you guys can have the loan and pay on the EDI basis, daily payments you can do. Again, the swipe machine is the zero MDR, which is the first in India market. And yes, feet on the street acquisitions in the merchant phase. So before, again, to building the real-time data pipeline, we have to understand the use case of real-time data pipeline. Because real-time is like, saying real-time is very cool, but building real-time and the cost also, which is incurring in building the real-time data pipeline is also huge. So before jumping on real-time, we have to understand what is the requirement of building the real-time data pipeline. So we have to understand the QR flow, which is started with the PSP. When merchant is going to do the payment with the payment service provider, PSP, it directly go to the NPCI, which is a National Payment Corporation of India, which act as a intermediary between the merchants and then the bank, which initiate the transaction, which goes to the issuer bank, and then the sender bank send the money, which again route through the NPCI only, and then get the payment done with the receiver bank, and then again NPCI confirm to the merchants and the payment, the customers as well, that the payment is done. So all this happens in the blink of eye, and these things is totally real time. But we have to understand there are lots of glitch in between the whole process. When we say कि Google Pay down hai, Phone Pay down hai, BharatPe down hai. So what exactly running behind, what exactly the reason behind, which we are going to discuss, and that is the use case which encourages us to build the real-time data pipeline to understand what exactly the reason, what exactly the pain for this QR flow. Then our next product is definitely the lending, where like every fintech is getting the revenue. So lending flow is quite huge, starting from the selection, what exactly my easy loan process is, submitting the applications, then the PAN and PIN, underwriting process, which is driven by the risk team. And then again, we have sort of offer also, which we are going to show to the merchants. Then again, the initiating process, the OTP, in-edge process, which is done by the government. And then offstream also have to check for the KYC authentication. We do KYC digital as well, but the offstream also have to check what is the beneficiary name to match the. So we build some fuzzy logic as well. We'll check on in the next slides. And then the recommendation, and then this is whole flow works, which was earlier when the real time was not there, but it's taking time. So that was too huge. So yeah, so again, the real-time use cases, definitely we do have lots of dashboards to help different teams, sales teams, where they can understand what are the transactions was last week or yesterday, and how my transactions or how my sales is going today as well. Similarly with the marketing team, because they have, the traditional marketing team have to compete with the digital marketing team as well, because what they are offering doing and what digital marketing is doing, they have to do what are the acquisition we are getting from the market and what you are doing. Operations team have to understand that speaker is working fine or not, swipe machine is working fine or not, and then the customer as well, the feedback that we are getting from or the complaints we are getting from. So this all are the insight and dashboard that is helping across the organization to resolve the issues immediately. And the next one is very important, the transactions, because the whole transactions is happening within a we can say milliseconds. So you have to identify not only the transactions how it's going, you have to identify the fraud as well. You have to identify the anomalies as well, because let's say your merchant is doing only max to max 10,000 transactions in a day, but all of a sudden there is a debited 1 lakh or 2 lakh money from his bank, then it's an outlier for the system. It's an outlier for the data as well. And this is the transaction is going very real time, so you have to understand what exactly is going, and within a minute you have to solve this problem and raise an alert so that merchant should know, or even if the transaction is happen internally, our system should know that this transaction is something wrong and this anomaly is detected, so that we can then cater that particular transaction in the form of reconciliation or dispute. So these kind of, and even nowadays bank also asking us the data to bring us data for the money leak. These are the merchants. Please send us whole detail, whole transaction record, so that we can identify the money leak. So this is very, very important for, I think, any business who's running on QR or PSP provider. So this is very important for us. Then again, the next one is the recommendation system. Definitely, I think not only B2B, B2C has more focus on recommendation systems. Similarly, as a B2B, we have lots of product, let's say insurance we have, swipe we have, club we have, where we clubbing all the product. And then we have small product as well, where we are checking the transactions. Let's say on 5th transaction, we are recommend certain product. On the 10th transaction, we can recommend certain product. And even we have a click data as well. So when the merchant is running on our app, he can click here and there. Then on the basis of the click data, we are recommending a different product. Then again, digital marketing is the very most important. Even Modi ji focused on digital marketing. So digital marketing is, I mean, it's cannot be done by real time, because you have to notify, you have to give the in-app push notification, in-app notification, WhatsApp, Facebook. These are the things that we are encouraging the data into the digital marketing, and not only pushing the data in the digital marketing, we are enriching the data as well. Because when you are doing when you are sending the push notification, the customer click on that particular link or particular app, then that click data is also consumed, and then we enrich the data. And in the recommendation that we are saying that everyone is building the segmentation part, that help us to build the segmentation part, because maybe yesterday my merchant was in segment A, but after 2 days or a week, it can be shifted to segment B as well. So this is how help us in building the digital marketing data. Then the credit score generation in the lending firm, and then again monitoring and footfall of merchant across in the India, because we have to understand which city, which state we are majorly more merchants are there, and where we can focus more and get the more revenue and business. Again, the business challenges. So we understand the use case, and then the business challenges. What are the business challenges we faced when we haven't implemented that real-time data? So the delay in decision making, definitely our salespersons are very focused, but they are only able to check back 2-day data or sales or footfall in the areas of different areas. And then again, rapidly changing environment, that the KPIs, because nowadays everyone is data driven. So you cannot say only data scientists are the data guy, because salesperson, marketing person, they are also very focused on the data, and they have to understand, because मतलब मैंने कल क्या सेल्स किया था, मुझे I have to understand today. Otherwise, I cannot take it, I mean, next decision or more decision on top of this. So again, their requirements are also changing, their KPIs are also changing. They don't rely on the static dashboard nowadays. So even I was talking a week before with one of my sales guy. He's saying normal static dashboard niche. I want to have that dynamic dashboard where I can check any data, any city data, any data which I am running on. So that is the KPIs, and you can say like yes, that is also good for the organization as well. And then again, that we have already discussed, understanding the payment transaction pattern, handling, and if any glitches are there. KYC authentication and the TAT for the loan approval, because earlier days KYC authentication includes lots of operation over there. Aadhaar card, you have to check, PAN card, you have to check. Then again, you have to match the Aadhaar card beneficiary name with the PAN card beneficiary name. There may be the name included in Aadhaar card, the name included with the father name, but in PAN card, there is only your name only. So there are lots of things that was earlier doing in the KYC, so which is taking lots of time. But yes, and again, in the loan approval, starting from the application submission till the credit scoring, and now the risk team also in the picture, that you have to include the risk score as well. So it's getting lots of TAT, but yeah, these are the business challenges that we have solved. Again, the time to send communication and notification to the merchant using digital marketing, monitoring and alerting in internal system, because if anything, any glitches, even in the late night, you have to notify. You're not going to check dashboard in the late night. You have to notify either on your WhatsApp or on your call instead of mail and anything else. Then again, monitoring and observation of FOs. We ask FOs, we do have FOs to visit our merchants' shops and ask them to implement the QR and the speakers. Now, come on this is a technical architecture which we build to perform all the real time use cases to resolve the challenges. So starting from there, I hope it's visible for everyone. No. So maybe we can zoom out a little. थोड़ा ज़्यादा बड़ा बन गया. So let me start. I think then you guys can. So starting from here, so it's a total technical diagram, and it's very easy. It's not complicated. So starting from here, we have the databases are running on AWS, which are all transactional data. Then that's it. So these are the transactional data. So which is connecting. So our whole data platform is on GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So this transaction database is connecting with the MySQL, which is deployed on GCP VM through the VPN. And then on this MySQL, we are connecting a Debezium connector, where we are getting the logs for each and every CDC event. Through the Debezium connector, we are connecting with Kafka connector. I'm not sure it's visible to everyone, but that's okay. So with the Debezium connector, we are connecting with Kafka connector. We'll convert that Debezium logs into JSON formats, and then there is a BigQuery Singh connector as a data warehouse. We are using BigQuery, GCP BigQuery, and that BigQuery Singh connector ingests the data into the BigQuery. Even in the BigQuery, the whole pipeline is getting the data exact within a millisecond into the raw table, and then so there are lots of insert, update, and delete is happening. So definitely we have to check latest data, which is similar here in the MySQL and here in the MySQL. So the data is very similar in MySQL here and the final table. The raw table is each and every insert, update, and delete. So there may be if merchant is updating their records, so if a merchant is updating their 10 records, so there are 10 records here, but at the final table it's only one record, the latest one, because we have to understand all the data, the historical data of merchant as well and the latest data of merchant as well. For this purpose, we are using merge query of BigQuery, and Google Cloud Composer. On top of this, we are running Airflow. So this merge data get the final data in the final table, which is equivalent to the MySQL. So if we are going to check any transaction within a millisecond, we have to check the raw table. And if you want to check the merchant detail or the loan detail, the final we will check the final table. So this pipeline is for the transactional data, and this is all for the real-time data. Then we connect with the app. So where we are getting two things. One is the app event, all the click event, whatever the happening on app, and the other thing is the logs. So we have APIs ke logs, we have third parties logs. The logs are connected with Kafka, and then again the cloud function, then the GCS, cloud storage, and then the BigQuery Singh connector, and then again into the BigQuery. Similarly, with the app event, we are using cloud function for ingesting the app event data in the BigQuery. So these all are data into the BigQuery. This is the transactional data, this is the log data, and then the event data. Then again, as I mentioned, we are enriching our digital data. So for that purpose, we are connecting all the digital things, Google AdWords, Google Firebase, then Facebook, then WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp ka data as well, because we are sending notification to all our merchants. We have to understand what all the notification we send to the merchants. So this is also connected with the cloud function and the PubSub, then data flow, and then ingesting into the BigQuery. So now we have all the data at the real-time level into the BigQuery, and then we aggregated all the data to the aggregated table. So when we have raw table, where we have all the live data, and then the aggregated table on the top of this, where our sales team or any team can understand, and we build in such a way that, let's say, first, what are the merchants who doing the first transaction, what are the merchants who did 10 transactions, these kind of segmentations we did in the aggregated table. And then once we have our whole data in BigQuery, then we are implementing our data science and machine learning, where we have Vertex AI, where we have document AI for extracting the data from the Aadhaar card, PAN card, and all these things. Even it's a multi-language as well. And then the recommendation AI, which is again integrating the both of the data and then ingest into the MySQL because of the purpose of API. So we are building the API using Fast API on top of this MySQL, and then this API is connecting with our backend API, which is again give the data to the app. And again, this API is also going to send a notification to the merchant on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on SMS, and the Gmail. And similarly, this data help us to get the dashboards, to get the report, and then the notification to the internal team. As I mentioned, not only the Gmail and WhatsApp or messages, we have PagerDuty as well, which awake like at any time, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night. So this is whole real-time architecture which help us to solve all the problems in the transactions, in the fintech, along with the digital part. So any question? Maybe you can ask at the last. So yeah, so coming on the transaction, as I mentioned, like, so we have a multiple bank. I cannot say the name of the bank, but yes, ABC, the bank are, these are the transactions which is happening. And here we are able to see like the transaction is going well, but there is a dip, and we have to understand what is the reason of dip. So we check what are the number of transactions going on, then we check the our payment team, our operations team, what exactly the reason behind this bank A, and check like there can be a multiple reason, maybe API integration between us and the bank, maybe API integration between NPCI and the bank, or maybe something wrong at the bank side. So this is the reason, and with the help of the real-time data, with this particular dashboard, we are able to understand that every other banks are working fine with the flow, but this bank is suddenly deepened down. Again, in that as well, so we have a dashboard which is not mentioned here. So we are checking the yesterday transaction with the today's transaction, which each and every minute, which are able to understand yesterday my transaction at 10 o'clock, at peak hour, let's say 7 to 9 in the evening, my transactions are there, but today it's why it's down. Then fraud and anomaly detections, we are using Facebook Profit library to understand on the top of the data, we are using seasonalities and understanding the trend. On top of this, we are taking maybe like last day data, last week data, last month data as well, and using this Facebook Profit model, we are generating a weight. And on the weight scoring, we are checking again each and every minute transaction, which is if it is equivalent or not. And then on the basis of certain logic, which is discussed with the business or the product team, we generate the alert at the back end. And then again, the alerts are pager duty, WhatsApp, or messages. And again, we have a backend API. Why backend API? We are blacklisting the merchants. If there is something happening on the data side, if this transaction is coming from this particular merchant, and if it is not okay with our certain insights, we are going to blacklist that particular merchant, and then we check later on. So this is again the fraud and anomaly detection that we are doing with the help of real-time data. So again, with the data, with the pipeline that we have discussed, we are solving the lending whole TAT as well, because here we can see there are lots of scores, risk scores, credit scores, BP scores, and then again the experience scores as well, and then the underwriting logic. So these all the scores we are catering, and then we build an engine that help us to reduce the TAT of starting from the lending application, starting from the submission, and then giving the approval to our merchants. So this is also help us to solve the whole TAT and the number of days to give the approval for the loan. Then it's again includes the BigQuery. We are ingesting, as mentioned, like all the data in BigQuery, then implementing the ML on top of this, and then the resultant data we store in the MySQL, and on top of this, the API, which is consumed by the backend API, which is showing on the app. So here is the product recommendation system, which is again a very easy architectures. So earlier we have discussed, we have all the data in the BigQuery side. We are doing k-mean clustering, which is nothing but a segmentations and a bit of scoring of merchants. This is a real-time data, and then the schedule is also running on, which is combining the real-time data with the batch data as well. As I mentioned, we are using hybrid recommendation, combination of collaborative and content-based filtering, and we are ingesting the real-time data as well, which is consuming from the Kafka topic, because at any certain point of view, if any merchant apply for the loan, and it's running day -1, then it's update the real-time data, and we can recommend that particular merchant that yes, you can adopt have this product and all. And on top of the MySQL, we are using Fast API actually, and this is consumed by the app. So on top of the recommendation, we have priority 1, 2, 3 merchant and so on, so that we can recommend on the basis of priority per product to the merchants. So this one is again the architecture and flow of digital machine marketing real-time campaigning, where we have all the data which is ingesting into the BigQuery. We are aggregating the data, the raw data, all the data on top of this. We are implementing the BQML, and then we understand on the top of transactions, first transaction, fifth transaction, 50th transactions, at what transaction we have to send notification or offer. Again, on the product base, we have a loan product, card product. So on what product, what notification we have to send on what channel as well, because we are doing cross sell effectively. Personalization also we are doing on the real-time basis. Then again, we have to understand, because in India we have you cannot send any notification, so we are catering the languages as well according to the city and state. So in the digital marketing team, we segment the merchant according to the state and according to the language wise as well, and we send the notification so that merchant get the notification in his own language. It's very effective for them. Then again, certain offer we are running on top of our product, and it's really saving a lots of time. I have like when we started 2 years back, it was taking this aggregation, the first transaction, the fifth transactions, we aggregated the data, and we integrate on our vendors, digital marketing vendors. It was quite taking a week or 5 days, but nowadays the code is already written, everything is fine, and it's hardly 15 minutes or 20 minutes task, and we are integrating the whole merchants on the digital marketing vendors, along with this all the criteria, language, city, state-wise, and the offer as well. Yeah, I'm done.